Hey guys, you're watching the video about Moscow Metro, and today I'm going to tell you all about it. Moscow Metro opens at 5:25 a.m. and closes its doors at 1 a.m. The precise opening time varies at different stations according to the arrival of the first train, but all stations simultaneously close its doors at 1 a.m. For maintenance, and so do all the corridors.
Moscow Metro was opened in 1935 and it was 11 kilometers long, and it included 13 stations from Sokolniki to Karud. Basically right now it's the part of the Red Line.
In Moscow Metro, each line is identified by a name and alphanumeric index, usually consisting of just a number and a color.
Moscow Metro system is very simple compared to New York, for example. If you miss your train, you can always come back. You just have to cross the platform, and it is. But there are some tricky stations. For example, it's Karud station, which has two different lines in the same platform. So you should carefully look the direction of the train, the direction and the line you need.
Another interesting line is Moscow Central Circle, or line 14, and it was built just in 2016, and it's very interesting because it's up of the town and not an underground. And unlike the conventional metro lines, you have to exit the entrance and use the ticket again. Most of the time it's free of charge, but unless you spend less than 90 minutes. And it's interesting that most of the time you have to go through the street in order to get to the Moscow Central Circle line, and it takes from 2 to 10 minutes or even 15 minutes. It's written in the map. And the trains, they go less frequently than in normal lines, so sometimes you have to wait up to 5 minutes. And one more thing, when you enter the station of Moscow Central Circle, you always have to pass the security check. In conventional metro stations, they only ask you to do so if you have a baggage or a big backpack.
Another tricky station is Arbatskaya, because there are two stations with the same name, but they are not interconnected. As you can see, Arbatskaya station of the dark blue line is interconnected with the Alexandrovsky Sad of the light blue line, but there is also Arbatskaya in the light blue line, and it's another station. Actually, the light blue line is very tricky, because in Kievska metro station it separates into two different ways, so you should always be aware of the direction you need. The easiest way to go somewhere in Moscow is to use metro. It is very cheap, it is very convenient, and it is everywhere, unless you use it in the rush hour or use the purple line, which is always busy. Moscow metro system is mostly underground, with the deepest section of 84 meters at Karud station, and it takes about 3 minutes to go up and 3 minutes to go down. So now we are doing it.
You might have heard that Moscow Metro is the most beautiful one, and it really is.
Следующая станция Комсомольская.
Следующая станция – Площадь Революции.
Следующая станция – Новокузнецкая.
Следующая станция Маяковская. Следующая станция – Проспект Мира.
станция Арбатская.
Следующая станция Киевская.
Следующая станция Таганская.
There are 3 different types of trains in Moscow. Very old trains, quite modern trains, and super modern trains. Very old trains are extremely noisy and it's almost impossible to talk to someone there. Quite modern trains are less noisy and they have electronic maps of the line. Super modern trains are without wagons, so you can walk through the beginning of the train till the end of the train. In these trains, you can charge your phone and it's very quiet inside. Apart from these 3 main types of the train, there are trains of Moscow Central Circle. They are totally different and basically this kind of trains you might see when you go to other Russian cities.
Next station is Marina Russia.
Sometimes you can see trains that have special design dedicated to a particular event or a particular topic, for example, nature, literature, festivals. Now there are plenty of them with FIFA symbols.
The next station is Park Kultury.
Another interesting fact of Moscow Metro is that the upcoming station is announced by a male voice on inbound trains to the city center and by a female voice on outbound train.
The next station is Slavyansky Boulevard.
It's made for blind or partially sighted people, and now all of the stations are also announced in English.
Doors will open on the right.
You can often hear some musicians performing in the metro, and there are some special areas for that. Free Wi-Fi has been available on all lines of the Moscow Metro since December 2014. The network was launched by Maxima Telecom. The network doesn't have secured connection, but at least you have Wi-Fi and can use it on your way. About ticketing. There are different types of tickets. Basically, you can buy one rate ticket just for the metro that will cost 55 rubles, or a ticket which is valid during 90 minutes, and during this time you can use different types of public transport, and it will cost you 60 rubles. But if you are going to use metro more than once during your stay in Moscow, I suggest you to buy a Troika card. The card itself is 50 rubles, and you can put there as much money as you want, and the rides will cost you less, 36 rubles for metro. You can give this card back after using it if you don't need it anymore and take your 50 rubles back. You can also save some money if you buy a ticket for 20, 60 or 40 rides, but I think Troika card is the most convenient. And if you're planning to use metro a lot during the day, the best option for you is to buy the daily, 3 days, weekly or monthly pass with unlimited rides for all the public transport in Moscow. You can find beautiful stations not only in the center of Moscow but in other districts. Let me show you my favorite. Basically, each station is unique and very beautiful.
Следующая станция Петровско-Разумовская. The next.
Следующая станция Тропарева. Следующая станция Жулебино.
We have the most convenient app for the metro system, Yandex.metro. It calculates the fastest route from point A to point B. It's very precise, so you'll always know how much time it will take to get somewhere, and this app works offline. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you, and you're always welcome to Moscow.